Londres.
It's as though the sun has come out on a cold, drizzly day. All of a sudden, there is a different, palpably more positive mood here in the European Union. Charles Michel, the President of the European Council, is talking about doing a trade deal as quickly as possible. Leo Varadkar, who was one of the more obstreperous of EU leaders during the recent talks, now says he wants a mighty deal that will deliver for both sides. Emmanuel Macron talks about walking alongside each other as friends and neighbours. What's changed? Nothing in Brussels has changed. Nothing in the essence of Brexit has changed. All that has changed is that there is now a House of Commons working with its own government rather than siding with the people on the other side of the negotiating table. It's critically important to understand what's been happening for the past 3.5 years. The gridlock, the chaos, the lack of progress has not been due to some insurmountable difficulty in the talks, let alone some intrinsic inconsistency in Brexit itself. It's been caused purely and simply by the refusal of MPs, in defiance of the promises they'd made earlier, to deliver on the referendum result. Now, that point was not widely grasped by overseas commentators, but it was plainly understood by British voters, which is why we have smashed through the roadblock and we are now on our way to delivering a Brexit of the kind that people voted for, because for the first time it's now clear that Britain will walk away from a bad deal, that we will no longer have a parliament that will keep us in any circumstances. You can't really blame the EU negotiators for responding in the way that they did to the signals that they were getting from British MPs. Oh, what, you're saying that if we keep saying no, you're going to stay? Well, okay, then no. I mean, it's a perfectly rational response when you're hearing from John Bercow and Yvette Cooper and all the rest that no deal is not an option, when indeed that position has been put into law. So only now, after 3 wasted years, do we finally begin the talks that we should have had all along. And it will very quickly become clear that the interests of the two sides heavily overlap. Britain wants to have rich neighbours. We want to have prosperous customers next door. And of course, that logic applies equally the other way round as well. As David Hume observed 200 years ago, the prosperity and commercial success of one country, far from damaging its neighbours, boosts their prosperity too. At long last, we can look forward to a warm, deep and comprehensive relations with our friends in Europe on the basis of being allies and partners rather than subordinate members.